Views expressed by Casters Guild members are only the opinions of that member, and that could change from day to day. Guild members may use mature language, but that in no way means they are mature. Listener discretion is advised.
Casting rumors for Zelda, trading card shop rumors for GameStop, and series new look for Witcher 4, because that's the spell we're casting tonight on Casters Guild. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Casters Guild. I'm your guild master, Rick Perry, the conductor of the hype train.
And I am your guild master, Baron Kane, and I am loose in the caboose. In that the caboose is like the back of a train, and I'm loose in it, like dangerous and running around, not like I'm incontinent or something.
Yeah, we got it. We got it. It's, nobody thought the other thing.
Oh, okay, good.
With me being on the hype train currently, I'd like to talk about why before we get into some of our normal ranting and complaining about things going on in the geek world. I don't care who else is not excited about this. There's been a lot of negative Nellies around Nintendo over the past few weeks, but I am going to pick up my Switch 2 tonight, and I can't wait.
Okay, good. I hope it works out for you.
My local GameStop is doing a nice midnight event. They're going to have food trucks. They're going to have some gameplay things going on. And I can't wait to get my hands on my new Switch 2 so I can bring it on the road with me for these upcoming conventions this year.
Hell yeah.
Which is just another thing to be hyped about, because in just 2 short weeks, we'll be at Origins.
It's crazy. It snuck up on us.
Yeah. I was actually just commenting on that. I was like, I looked at the calendar and I was like, oh man, I thought I had like a month, and I don't.
Yeah. I'm excited, but I'm definitely not ready.
Yes.
I'm definitely not ready.
It's okay. We will rise to the occasion, ready or not.
Yes. Yeah, I'm definitely ready to see some of the people that we've been wanting to see for a while. It's, a lot of the people that we met last year, and then, meeting new people, obviously. And yeah. I've got my eyes on a few Kickstarters and stuff that I know for a fact are going to be showing up at some of these. I say for a fact, but I mean, it's like, come on.
Yeah.
You're going pushing this there.
Yeah, I think we made some really good contacts last year, and not just like, in like a business way. Oh, we made some good contacts. I mean, like, there are people we talked to who I feel like are our friends now. I'll be excited to hang out with them again.
Me too.
And then if any of you are coming, I'll be very excited to see you, and we will have some goodies for you while supplies last.
Some of you.
All right, moving on. Before we get to the agenda, there's one other thing I want to mention, and I feel like I should have talked about it last week, and talking about it this week is like too late, but whatever. Final Fantasy set for Magic the Gathering, the pre-release, comes out this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to throw the warning out there to anyone who might be new to Magic the Gathering or joining it because of Final Fantasy. The prices for some of the stuff that's coming out on release is getting really high in the aftermarket because, all of the pre-orders are sold out. So if you want to get it on release day, you're basically buying from scalpers, and it's selling for 3 to 4 times MSRP. In some cases, more for some of that product.
Yeah.
I want to let anyone know who is not used to this happening with Magic the Gathering sets, just don't buy it. I understand that you want it. I understand that you want these Final Fantasy cards. Just don't buy it. I promise the price will drop.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
If you just look at any other Universes Beyond set that came out before this, Lord of the Rings, for example, the Commander precons for the Lord of the Rings got up to $400 to $600 a piece for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
You can now buy a bundle that includes all 4 Lord of the Rings precons for $98. So rather than spending $400 to $600 on a single deck, a year later or however long it's been, you can get all 4 for less than $100. So just wait and wait for those prices to go down. And if you're someone who's been in Magic for a while and you're looking for some of these cards to improve your deck, just wait for people to open these packs. The singles will be selling. Buy the singles. That supports other companies other than Wizards anyway. Shop your local friendly game store first, and then after that, maybe Card Kingdom, but definitely not TCGplayer.com. I don't know if you've heard, but TCG Player has been doing some union busting recently.
Ah, gross.
So
assholes.
Yeah. Start with your friendly local game stores, then head to Card Kingdom if you're buying singles. And even then, unless you're getting something really hot, like a particular serialized card or some sort of special art treatment, just wait for it. Wait a little bit. The prices are going to go down.
That's fair.
All right. Now that I've gotten through most of my hype. No, we're not done with the hype. We're not done with the hype because someone is being eyeballed for the Legend of Zelda movie coming out. And that is
me, isn't it?
That's very exciting. Yeah, I think they're going to get you in as Ganon.
Oh my god. Can I be voiced by Matt Mercer?
Yeah, it's just you're doing the voice, the mouth flaps, but Matt Mercer is doing your voice entirely.
Look, I've been playing a lot of Repo lately. I'm really good at mouth flaps.
We've both been playing Repo, and I am not good at it.
I am not either, but I am enjoying it immensely.
Yeah, it's still fun. Like, I accept that I will probably be the first to die, and that you all will be carrying my head out at some point in time, but I'm still enjoying the experience.
Right. But anyways, back to the hype. The real hype.
So, Hunter Schafer, and I want to be clear that this is mostly like rumor and hearsay, but it's pretty substantial rumor. Like, no one from Nintendo or Sony has come out and officially said that yes, this is going to be our Zelda, but it is rumored that they are looking at Hunter Schafer for Zelda, and she looks 100% the part.
100%.
And I feel like
I think
she could act the hell out of it too.
I almost feel like it's the studios kind of putting something out there just to see what people think.
Trying to get a reaction.
Yeah.
If that's the case,
perfect.
If that's the case, I would like to make a call to action to anyone listening to this right now. Go on some social media of your choice and use some hashtags and let Nintendo and whoever else know that you like Hunter Schafer for Zelda.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of hate for Hunter Schafer for Zelda right now, and it is completely unwarranted.
Yeah, weirdly enough, probably from the same people who were hating Halle Bailey for Ariel, because she didn't, quote, look like the cartoon.
Right.
It's like, okay, well, what's your excuse for Hunter Schafer? We know what it is. Just say it out loud.
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know, Hunter Schafer is a trans woman, but I also, arguably, Zelda's a trans character, being that, she shifts back and forth from Zelda to Sheik.
That's fair.
And she just, I feel like she'd do really well in the role. Like, I feel like anyone who's seen Hunter Schafer in anything, or even just sees a picture of the two of them together, the fact that she's perfect for the role doesn't need to be explained.
Correct.
I think,
especially when they got, there was one particular picture that they got and then put it right next to the picture of Zelda, and it was just like, holy crap. It's like her ears even looked pointed.
Yes. I think they need to take it a step further, and I think Link should also be cast as a trans man.
Yeah, I'm down.
I mean, you can take... I feel like people have been making the comparison forever with Link anyway, that if you take one look at the man, and I feel like it's like back in the day when they cast a woman as Peter Pan. It's because a woman could better capture who Peter Pan is as a character. And I feel like a trans man could probably do it better for Link.
Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, take it one step further and just be like, just like Peter Pan, just cast a woman just straight up.
Yeah.
And just be like, well,
that would work too.
There you go.
Yep. 100%. I don't know. I mean,
it's like,
Just cast who's best for the role.
Which I think if they went with Hunter Schafer, it would be the best for the role.
Yes.
I mean, because on top of everything else, she's a great actress.
Yes, and it would be way better than some of the other casting Nintendo's been doing.
Oh my gosh.
We all question Chris Pratt as Mario.
Yeah.
As we should have. Because he's...
And as much as... it's like, as much as we liked Charlie Day as Luigi, it's not going to counteract that.
No. Charlie Day did do a good job as Luigi, though.
He did great.
I just hope that Nintendo, if what they're doing is that they're putting feelers out to see what the reaction is, I hope the online reaction of the transphobes do not scare them away from casting Hunter Schafer. She deserves the role. So yeah, get on social media, let Nintendo know that you like the casting, and try to counteract these transphobes.
That is unless she doesn't want to play it, because I haven't heard any reaction from her about it. If she doesn't want to play it, then moot point. But
and hopefully, if she doesn't want to play it, it's not because of the transphobes.
True, yeah.
Like, hopefully she doesn't get scared away by the... Hopefully it's not something she actually does want to do, and she just gets scared away by the transphobes. I hope not. I would understand that decision, but I just hope that doesn't happen. And in June, of all months, these transphobes got to be coming out here and making a scene.
Yep.
By the way, happy Pride, everybody.
Happy Pride. Yeah, this is the first podcast we've recorded since Pride has started. Maybe not the first one that we've released, but
yeah.
The
last week's episode released during Pride, but we weren't recording it during Pride, so I just think it kind of slipped our minds.
Mm-hmm. It's easy to do, when we're recording.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you are celebrating Pride, be sure that you stay safe. And if you're going to be destructive, be constructive about it and be good at it. And if you are a straight person during Pride and want to support your brothers and sisters out there, make sure that you are an accomplice and not an audience member. Pride is not a spectacle for you to enjoy. Pride is a way to celebrate life in the face of death. So, come up and help.
And I want to let everybody know that the Casters Guild community will always be a safe space for members of the LGBT community or any other marginalized community for that fact. So just know you're safe with us. Also know that our Discord and our social media is not private. So while you are safe with us in our DMs, just if you are not out or not in a safe situation, be careful what you post online.
Not that we won't have your back completely in the public forum. We just don't want to have someone follow your profile back anywhere, or, God forbid someone comes out on our page and someone's work tracks it down and, you live in the state of Ohio, which is an at-will state. Just be careful. And be prideful as much as you want, and just know that, again, we will have your backs.
100%. All right, moving on to the next topic. It looks like GameStop is making a big shift in their business plan. I want to say that everything I say about GameStop from here on, some of it is verified, some of it is rumor. So do your own research. But I have some feelings about GameStop. Even when other people badmouth GameStop, a lot of times I tried to be, an advocate, because there's a lot of places where if you're a gamer, GameStop is really your only option. But some of these business decisions, there's just no defending it, especially if some of the rumors are true. So first, there's the confirmed thing where GameStop has shifted a lot of their model to a cryptocurrency model, which is questionable at best. There are some sources saying they have bought massive amounts of Bitcoin to start this model.
Fuck?
They announced today that they announced a week ago that they purchased over 4,700 Bitcoin.
4,700 Bitcoin?
Yes. 4,710 to be exact.
What? Okay, and how much did you say? 4,710?
Correct. They did not list how much they spent on it, but currently a Bitcoin is traded for over 100,000 per Bitcoin right now.
Okay.
If they spent the approximate midpoint. So like right now Bitcoin trades for 108,300 to 110,700. So if we take the midpoint and assume that they spent 109,500 per Bitcoin, it means they spent 515.7 million on Bitcoin a week ago.
Yeah, just going off of the 104,000 that I saw Bitcoin was worth, you're looking at around $500 million.
Right.
What are they?
So that is mistake the first, right? Everything else here on out. No, okay. I'm going to make one other fact known that the GameStop CEO came out saying that they will be shifting their business model from video games to collectibles. Anyone who's been in a GameStop within the past few years knows that store is 75% collectibles anyway.
Correct.
But basically what they're saying is they're going to take the stores to 100% collectibles with a big focus around trading cards.
Okay. That doesn't sound terrible, I guess. If it's just a super commercialized trading card shop.
Right.
Sure.
Which, okay, let's talk about just what's confirmed right now, because you're right. That does not sound terrible, especially seeing as how there's a lot of places in the United States where there are no friendly local game stores, but there is a GameStop. Mm-hmm. And so if someone wants to get into a trading card game or some other type of collectible, for GameStop to be filling that void, that's a good thing for your average consumer and a smart business move.
Right. Sure.
However, let's get into some rumor. It is rumored that the GameStop CEO stated that his goal is to put LGSs and card shops, local card shops, mom and pop places out of business.
Okay.
It is rumored that they will be selling trading card game cards at market value, not at MSRP.
Okay.
So when it comes to like Pokemon booster boxes, for example, they'll be selling them at like 3 to 4 times MSRP.
Wait, they're selling them higher than MSRP?
That's what market value is, yeah.
Oh, I guess I didn't put that together in my head.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Why would they do that?
Because they know they can make more money that way.
No, hold on though. Because friendly local game stores sell shit at MSRP.
Most of them.
And
there is currently kind of an epidemic with local game stores. I won't call them friendly local game stores because they're not. There is an epidemic of local game stores opening up across the country recently that are owned and operated by scalpers. So essentially there are scalpers who were selling stuff online. They made enough money doing that they opened a storefront. And they're like, yeah, I own a card shop now. But it's basically just a storefront for their scalping. And
so they're just getting them like super cheap at bulk or whatever and then selling them 4 times the price of what they are because people can't get them?
Correct.
Is that the idea?
Yep, exactly that.
Oh, okay.
Which is the same thing that it is rumored GameStop will be doing.
So this is what I think. Anybody listening, I can't tell you where to shop or anything like that. However, man, selling them this expensive, it'd be a real fucking shame is if people just went in and fucking, picked whatever they wanted off, stuck it in their pocket and ran. I would really fucking hate that if that happened.
That would be a real shame.
Just shoplifted the shit out of them. Oh, man, that would be horrible.
Now, there are a lot of people saying that this could mean the death of a lot of these hobbies because a lot of the scalpers...
It could.
A lot of the scalpers who are coming in and buying at MSRP and then selling at higher prices, even the scalpers who own LGSs, one of their main sources is GameStop currently. Because GameStop is currently selling at MSRP, which is part of the reason that the rumor started flying is like GameStop is seeing these massive lines of mostly scalpers and like people online who like like camp out in front of their stores or like constantly refresh their website, who are like buying up these products the second that they hit at MSRP, and then they turn around and see it sold at 3 to 4 times that price online, and it's selling. So they're seeing the money that they could make. So a lot of people are speculating that this will mean the scalpers will still buy from GameStop and then mark it up even higher from there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to come down to stuff like that dying out.
I would also love to see this cause an effect that would leave the scalpers and GameStop holding the bag on this.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm looking at places like Costco too. I saw a picture the other day of a dude standing in there with a lot of those new Lord of the Rings Lego sets.
Mm-hmm.
They're already too expensive for me to buy, but this person is buying a pallet of them. Guaranteed, he's going to go and sell them for like 4 times what they're worth because nobody at Costco is getting them because he just got them all.
Right. I feel like this has to be coming to a head eventually because your average consumer has less and less money available as this time is moving on, and scalping is getting worse and worse and worse. There are more people who are getting into scalping because they're seeing the money that's being made. And I feel like this is coming to a head where a bunch of scalpers are going to be left holding the bag eventually. There's got to be a point where people just can't afford it anymore. And they just go, well, they're selling it at this price. I can't afford it at this price. I guess I just can't have it. And they're just going to be left holding the bag. And I hope that happens sooner rather than later.
I am pretty sure that I'm going to be going out in Origins in my Caster's Guild shirt, and I'm going to be looking at some of these card shops in the exhibition hall, and woe be a motherfucker that's charging a shit ton of money for packs of cards that should be like $5 or whatever they're at now.
Yeah.
Because I will fucking call them out. I will get on the podcast, call them out by fucking name, and be like, why are you doing this?
I think the exception being people who are selling sealed product that is no longer available.
That's way different, yeah.
Like if you're selling sealed booster packs from like a set that's from like 3 years ago, and you're selling it at like market value, yeah, I get it. Sure. If you're selling a set that just came out yesterday, and you are a retail store and you are selling it at market value, now you no longer own a game store. You did at one point in time. I have never owned a game store. There are some FLGSs that, while they are not charging the same prices as scalpers, they are raising their prices slightly above MSRP and claiming that is the only way they can survive as a store. They're still not selling at scalper prices, but they are selling above MSRP.
I guess I would have to see what they're charging at, but I don't think that is true either.
Okay. Because
generally, your MSRP is twice what your cost is. So, like, let's just say it's $5 for a pack of cards, MSRP.
Right.
They paid $2.50 for it. Right. And it's going to be like that for boxes of cards, too. So, even if the prices on those go up for cost, then generally the MSRP is going to go up to match that. And a lot of people will bitch when they see people selling them for MSRP because Amazon sells it for way less than MSRP for a lot of stuff, and so they think they're overcharging. So I would not see a good friendly local game store selling it for more than MSRP under the claims that they need to do that to survive, because there are already stores selling it for MSRP and they're being accused of overpricing their shit.
Yeah. No, I can agree with that.
So yeah, so I really I would like to see those stores prove to me how much they paid for these cards.
Sure.
If they're charging that much, yeah.
I mean, it's got to be more than they used to be with all these tariffs going on.
Sure.
But I will say that with that means the MSRP probably raised too.
Sure. I will say this: if it's normally a $5 pack, and they're charging $6, it's like, okay, that's sure. Maybe you're trying to, increase your margin there, but you're still not absolutely fleecing your customers.
Right.
I think I would be okay with that, but yeah, if I went and saw someone charging $15 for a pack that just came out yesterday, yeah, you're getting fucking roasted.
Right. So all of that being said, I will have a close eye on GameStop. If it's just them switching over to collectibles with a focus in trading cards, and it is giving people who don't have a friendly local game store nearby, but they do have a GameStop, and it is giving them a place to come in and play cards and buy cards, good for GameStop.
Sure.
If they are indulging in practices that will put friendly local game stores out of business and charging scalper prices to your average consumer, then fuck GameStop.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see which one happens.
I mean, based off of everything I just heard, I'm already in the fuck GameStop camp, so.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's probably where we're going to be leaning. I just don't want to make my decision based off of rumor just yet.
Sure, I get it.
But yeah, that's definitely the side of the fence that I'm leaning towards. Let's go ahead and get into our Miss the Mark segment.
Uh-oh. Is it back for Wizards of the Coast?
It is. It is back
for
Wizards of the Coast.
Oh, yay! It's been so long!
So Wizards of the Coast is currently working with Resolution Games to make a video game called Demio Cross Dungeons & Dragons Battle Marked.
Yeah.
They recently released a gameplay trailer of this game.
Really?
And what it's going to look like.
Neat.
And man, did it look real familiar.
What? What do you mean?
It looked exactly like Project Sigil. Project Sigil, which was first announced back in 2022, they put a whole bunch of work into it. Well, they had a team that put a whole bunch of work into it. Then it released, immediately canceled it a month later, and basically fired the entire team. But it sure looks like that work went somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in their very limited defense, they got to do something with that stuff.
They could have just supported Sigil.
Yeah.
They could have just supported Sigil. Which is why you said very limited defense, because this is it's bullshit. You had a team that put their heart and soul into it, and then players, like Dungeons & Dragons players who were ready to use it, and then you just cancel it out of nowhere. And I was confused as fuck by that business move when it first came out. I was like, what are they doing? And now I know. Now I know what they're doing. It's what we always feared from the start when it came to this stuff. They're trying to remove the Dungeon Master. Because Sigil required still that you have a Dungeon Master, and Battle Marked does not.
It's true.
And that's exactly what they are marketing as, is play this game to feel exactly like you're playing D&D with no need for a Dungeon Master.
Yep, that's fair. Yeah, I it's funny because when I first saw this, all I saw was, haha, you fucked up, you're just trying to make some money on the return there. And really, it's, definitely a little more insidious and back to our original fears that we were kind of having when we first saw this stuff coming out.
Yeah, exactly that. I think the original plan was to introduce AI Dungeon Masters into Project Sigil. Mm-hmm. And then either they couldn't get it to work, or they got too much backlash for the inclusion of AI. And so they were like, all right, fuck Sigil then. Mm-hmm. And scrapped it and gave it over to Resolution, who made this game. Once again, that's speculation. There's no proof that that's what happened.
True.
Sure is what it looks like, though. And no matter what it actually is, this is definitely a fumble on Wizards of the Coast part. Because I understand that they're a company and they're trying to make business moves and they're trying to go with where the market is or whatever. And they see video games like Fortnite and everything like that making money. And they're trying to figure out how they can get in on that business. But they're killing Dungeons and Dragons as a hobby. I don't think they care.
No, I really think, honestly, if I had to guess, I think that they want to do everything they can to get as much money as humanly possible out of this as they can, and then let it burn out, and then they never have to worry about it again. So we got our money, we're going to go ahead and jump out now that it's dead.
Yeah, I think Hasbro just doesn't know how to monetize D&D, and they're trying to figure out every way that they can, and in the meantime, they're killing it. And I think they know that. And they're like, let's get the money out of it we can now, because we don't know how. Even if we kept it going on in the long term, we don't know how to make money off of it, which is really stupid. It's really stupid, because when 5e came out, they figured it out. They figured out how to make money off of Dungeons and Dragons again. Just keep coming out with supplements and keep coming out with merch and collectibles. We talked about it in some of the earliest episodes of this podcast, where we're talking about all the cool D&D shit that was coming out. And we were like, yes, keep making this shit. Everybody get into D&D so they keep making this shit, and we can keep buying this cool shit and have it for our hobby.
Yep.
And then they were just like, D&D is more profitable than it's ever been. It's been making more money every year, but like 2 years in a row, for some reason, profit didn't grow. They were still the highest, some of the highest they'd ever been in the game's history, but they didn't grow. So they were like, nope, we got to figure out something else.
Yep. And I still think that a lot of these companies out here are basing this, quote, growth off of the bullshit that they saw during the pandemic. And it's like, you can't do that. It's like, if you're a company and you're basing your growth off of the growth that you saw during the pandemic, you need to go back to the models that you were fucking with before the pandemic, and then I'm pretty sure that you're going to be okay. But I feel like that a lot of these people who are making money off of this shit are seeing the profits that they were getting, and now that they aren't getting that growth, I don't know. It just feels to me like they aren't seeing what they want, and they're not able to pay for that new yacht that they just got.
It's real dumb.
Yeah.
It's real dumb,
yeah.
And it's the people in the hobby who are paying for it, and that's unfortunate.
Yep.
But that's our Miss the Mark segment, because as long as they continue to do this, we'll continue to have one, and it just seems like they cannot stop shooting themselves in the foot. So,
yep.
Let's see. In completely different news, Netflix has released the trailer for Squid Game Season 3, the final season. I really like Squid Game. I like Season 1. I like Season 2. Season 3's trailer has me a little confused. I wasn't sure where they were going to go with it, with the cliffhanger they left us on at the end of Season 2. The trailer for Season 3 kind of gives us a little bit of an idea of where they're going to go with it, and it is not the direction I expected.
Sure. I haven't seen Season 2 yet, so I don't have a lot to go off there, but yeah.
It's not a bad thing, because with where they left Season 2 had less episodes than Season 1 anyway, and it almost feels like instead of having Season 2 and Season 3, it's all Season 2, but with like a mid-season break. So if it's something that you're interested in finishing, waiting until Season 3 comes out and then watching it all together is not a bad move.
Got it. Good to know.
A lot of times when I see these trailers, I get hyped up and I'll say things like, oh, this looks good, I can't wait to see it. I can't really say that off of this trailer because I don't know. Based off of this trailer, I don't know if it looks good. I don't know what it's going to be like. I'm going to watch it one way or another. There's no way that I'm going to be left off on the cliffhanger that I was at the end of Season 2 and not watch Season 3.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope it's really good. One way or another, I am excited to see how it turns out and excited to watch it. I just don't know what to expect. And that could end up being a good thing.
Sure.
I'd rather it surprise me than be entirely predictable.
No, I completely get that. So, if anybody's been following the whole Witcher 4 stuff, you'd know that, again, there's tons of just online discourse over this. A lot of it being how Ciri looks in it. And, yeah, I will never understand that because she looked like a person. But now there is a lot of discourse online because they just released a new trailer, or new clips, I should say. And the ones that were bitching before are now going online and, like, in triumph, saying that the outrage of the gamers have won, and they changed series look.
Mm-hmm.
Before I even read the article, I looked at the picture that they posted, and it was like, I don't see what they changed.
Right.
She looks exactly the same as the trailer that they released, to me at least.
Sure.
Then I read the article. Apparently, it was from the Gamer.
Correct.
And they got an official statement from CD Projekt Red, and they're like, actually, the only thing we did was slightly raised her eyebrows and more relaxed eye area. So, they're pretty much saying, if you think that we changed this based off of what you were bitching about, you're wrong.
Right. I don't understand the complaints that were made in the first place. I mean, to be fair, I'm not a great big Witcher fan. So, take my opinion with a grain of salt. But I don't understand what they were bitching about in the first place.
Bitching about a character who was effectively a child in the previous games. They're bitching because she isn't fuckable. They don't think that she's cute. They don't think that she's pretty.
Because she no longer looked like a child. Because, they aged her up a bit because she aged in the story.
That's the only thing I can assume at this point.
Okay, so we're pissing off pedophiles. I'm okay with this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's what it is. But
I mean, if you're listening to this and that's not what it is. Let's say you're like, I'm one of those people who is pissed off. And you're like, no, it's not because she was no longer fuckable. No, it's not because I'm a pedophile. Feel free to tell us what it was.
Please. Convince me.
The comment section's open. Our email's open. Let us know. I don't know. I think she looks good.
Yeah, I think she looks fine. She looks like the character that was in the other game has grown up.
Before I say something that's going to get me in trouble, how old is she in Witcher 4?
I don't know.
Assuming this woman is an adult in Witcher 4.
Witcher 3, she's around 2021, but they did place her much younger than that, too, in the beginning of the game. Okay. But they're thinking Witcher 4, she's likely in her early 30s.
Okay. Well, in that case, I think she's extremely attractive, personally, in the way she looks in Witcher 4. See, I thought I had heard that a lot of people were upset about the fact that she just was the new Witcher. That, people were upset, a woman can't be a Witcher.
Oh, there are those people as well, but it was the appearance ones that was being addressed in this article. And
sure.
There were definitely people bitching about what she looked like. But then you turn around and you go that direction about people bitching that women can't be Witchers. You're also fucking wrong. Right. Read a book, maybe. So, yeah, I refuse to debate these jackholes who want to claim they know the lore when they've never read a fucking book.
I don't know. God forbid a woman look like she's in her 30s. And
I've seen this wiki.
I've seen this in a lot of other video games and movies too. That the moment a woman looks like she's in her 30s, all of a sudden she's unattractive and unfuckable and not worth watching. And it's like, I'm just gonna okay.
You got weird takes on women.
First of all, a woman does not have to be attractive for a video game or a movie to be good. And second of all, and I can't believe I'm even entertaining this argument, but second of all, even if she did, there are lots of women, including every single example I can think about of a woman in her 30s who they try to claim isn't attractive, where they fucking are. You're just wrong.
Yeah, I mean, one can argue all day about attractiveness, but then when it comes down to it, it's your fucking argument is flawed from the get-go anyways.
Yes.
Attractiveness, what is that?
Right. It's a completely subjective.
So, so they're starting out with a flawed argument. And then you get into I've talked to way too many dudes who only watch a movie with what they consider to be attractive women, and then that will be the only reason why they even watch it. And it's like, can you tell me what they did in the movie? Tell me what they did in the movie, and I'm going to value your opinion.
It's such a shitty reason to watch a movie, especially if that's your only reason to watch a movie. Like,
yeah, I wish I was kidding. I wish I was kidding, but I have one dude in my mind right now that the only time, every time we talked about movies, it was always, we would talk about some movie, and he was like, "Oh, did she start Scarlett Johansson in that?" It's like, yeah, I did. She was great. Did you also see these people? Nah, that's the only reason why I watched it was because of her. I was like, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Look,
sure.
I'm not going to sit here and try to front on a podcast. Okay. I'm an adult. I have sexual attraction to other adult human beings. And there are movies that I've been like, yes, I'm going to watch that movie because I've been attracted to the actors and actresses who are in said movie. I still enjoy the movie for what it is. I'm not just gawking at actors and actresses, and it will never be the only reason I ever watch movies.
Hey, to be fair, I too have done that, but they're all porn.
If that's how you're choosing your porn, I can't knock you for that. That's probably a good way to choose your porn.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, man.
Fucking pedophiles. I swear to God.
Yeah, call it how you see it.
If you think a woman can't be attractive just because she looks like she's in her 30s or even in her 20s, that's what you are. That's what you are. Even if you say, oh, well, I'm only attracted to adults. But if you're only attracted to adults who look like they're 14, you're a pedophile. Hot take, I know.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
So that all being said, the summer is upon us. Holiday season is fastly approaching, which means there's a lot of stuff that will be coming out soon. I know we were just talking about CG Project Red. They were talking about how they're currently working on Cyberpunk 2. Not a whole lot to be said there other than the fact that they are working on it. And that is true of a lot of other things. A lot of gaming showcases are coming. And we may not have a lot of topics to talk about this week, but in the upcoming weeks with all of these gaming showcases and all of these conventions and a whole bunch of stuff getting announced and actual information coming out about it, we are about to be overwhelmed with topics. So I'd like to make another call to action to you out there as guild initiates, guild members, anyone who listens to this podcast. Let us know what we should be focusing on. Let us know what it is that you want to hear about, because it feels like the well is dry currently, but it is about to be overflowing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So,
I would say for the most part, when we dig for stuff, we find the stuff that we think is interesting. And sometimes I don't want to say we don't look for our audience, but we need to have more discussions with our audience to find out what y'all like. We're just assuming that you're following us because you like the things we talk about, which is what we like. So, I'm more than happy to talk about things that are new to me, and I want to be exposed to things that are new to me, and I have been since I've been on this podcast. But I want more. I want to talk about more. I want you guys to hop on the show and talk to us about things. Guild member Guillermo would hop on and talk about stuff that I have no clue about. It's like a lot of the modding stuff, a lot of the emulator stuff, which is immensely fascinating to me, especially now. I want more, and I want to talk about more, and I would love to talk about it with you guys.
There are definitely topics that will come up when I'm doing research as far as what should we talk about this week. And either it'll just be, I can't say much about that topic other than the fact that it's a thing that's happening because I don't have expertise on it. And I'm just like, this is a thing that's happening, in which case it'll take up, 10 seconds of time on the podcast and it's not really worth bringing up. Or there's just stuff I don't know about. So why would I waste your time just reading an article because I don't know anything about this thing? But that being said, I just like Guildmaster Baron just said, I'm very interested in learning about this stuff from people who do know about it. So send in your suggestions on the Discord, send in your suggestions via email, or even better, shoot me a DM and let me know that you want to be an episode and come in and talk about whatever it is you're passionate about, because we'd love to have you.
And remember, too, if you want to be on the podcast, it's last minute is good. We are good with that.
So thank you very much for tuning in to this episode of Casters Guild. Email us at castersguild@gmail.com. Let us know what's coming up that you are looking forward to, that you want to hear about on the podcast. Join us on the Discord. That's where all the fun stuff is happening. And we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye. Happy Pride. Bye.
Happy Pride. Bye. Be gay, do crime.